There is one very specific color that ancient Kabbalah masters warned against for centuries. A color you must never allow to dominate your home. And I am not talking about something dark and obvious. I am talking about a color that has been marketed to you as sophisticated, as modern, as elegant. A color sitting in millions of homes right now, quietly working against every blessing trying to enter. Before I reveal exactly which color it is, I'm going to share with you 7 powerful colors that Jewish mystical tradition teaches act as spiritual magnets for abundance, protection, family connection, and deep joy. These are not just decorating tips. These are energetic codes preserved in Kabbalah for over 2,000 years. And when you understand them, your home transforms from just a place you live into a living sanctuary. Here is what the ancient rabbis understood, and what modern science is only beginning to confirm. Color is frequency. Every shade you surround yourself with broadcasts a specific vibrational signal. Your walls, your fabrics, your artwork, they are not passive. They are constantly communicating with your subconscious mind, with your emotional state, and according to Kabbalistic teaching, with the spiritual realm itself. You might think you are simply choosing paint because it looks nice, but energetically you could be accidentally inviting struggle, stagnation, and financial blockage instead of the blessings you deserve. The Zohar, one of the most sacred texts of Jewish mysticism, teaches that every color corresponds to a different sephira, a different divine attribute. When we bring the wrong energy into our most intimate space, we disrupt the flow of Shefa, the divine abundance meant to pour into our lives. So right now, before we go any further, I want you to type in the comments the words, "My home is a magnet for miracles." Say it out loud as you type it. In Kabbalah, words carry creative power. When you speak an intention, especially in community, you activate what the rabbis called kavana, focused intention that opens channels for blessing to flow. And as you continue watching, look around your space. Notice the colors surrounding you right now. By the end of this teaching, you will know exactly which ones are serving your highest good, and which one might be quietly working against you. Let us begin with the first sacred color, and this one is deeply rooted in the Torah itself, white. In Jewish tradition, white represents tahara, purity. It is no accident that on Yom Kippur, the holiest day of the year, we wear white to symbolize spiritual cleansing and our return to our purest state before the Creator. But white is not just about ritual. Energetically, white is the presence of all possibilities. It is the blank canvas upon which divine light can write new blessings. The Kabbalists teach that white corresponds to Keter, the crown, the highest sephira, representing infinite potential and direct connection to the Ein Sof, the infinite divine. When you bring white into your home, especially in sacred spaces like your entryway or near your mezuzah, you are creating an environment of openness and spiritual receptivity. I once worked with a woman named Miriam who felt completely stuck. Her career had plateaued, her relationships felt stagnant, and she could not understand why every door seemed closed. When I visited her home, it was filled with dark, heavy furniture and dim, closed-off colors. We painted her living room a clean, brilliant white. Within 3 weeks, she received an unexpected job offer she had not applied for, and reconnected with a childhood friend who became a crucial business partner. White creates space for the new. It acts like a spiritual reset button, clearing old stagnant energy and inviting fresh blessings to enter. Here is a simple ritual you can do tonight. As you bring white elements into your space, whether that is white candles, white linens on your Shabbat table, or a beautiful piece of white art, say this intention aloud. I clear this space of all past limitations. I open my home and my life to infinite blessings, clarity, and abundance from the divine source. I am a clean vessel for miracles. You are not just decorating, you are performing a sacred act of spiritual preparation. aligning your physical environment with the flow of divine prosperity. The second color carries enormous spiritual power, and it might surprise you. Blue. Not just any blue, but the specific shade known in Hebrew as techelet. For thousands of years, this sacred blue dye, mentioned over 40 times in the Torah, was woven into the tzitzit, the fringes of the talit, the prayer shawl. The Talmud teaches that techelet resembles the sea, and the sea resembles the sky, and the sky resembles the throne of glory. This one color creates a direct visual and spiritual link between our earthly existence and the divine presence. Blue is the energy of emunah, faith, and bitachon, trust. When life feels chaotic, when anxiety is overwhelming you, when you cannot hear that still small voice of wisdom because the world is too loud, blue is your sanctuary. Neuroscience actually supports this. Studies have found that blue environments enhance creative thinking and produce a calming effect on the nervous system, lowering cortisol, the stress hormone. In your home, bringing shades of blue into your bedroom or your study creates what the Kabbalists would call a vessel for bina, understanding, and chokhmah, wisdom. I remember working with a family whose home was filled with constant conflict. Parents and teenagers were barely speaking. There was anger and misunderstanding, and everyone felt unheard. We painted a corner of their living room a soft, serene blue, placed comfortable chairs there, and made it the space where difficult conversations would happen. Within a month, the father told me it was like a switch had flipped. People listened. They spoke more calmly. The space itself seemed to invite understanding. That is the power of sacred blue. If you have been struggling to make wise decisions, if your home feels emotionally volatile, blue is your spiritual anchor. The third color is one that resonates deeply with Jewish identity and mystical power: gold. In the temple in Jerusalem, gold was everywhere. The menorah, the Ark of the Covenant, the altar, all overlaid or crafted entirely of gold. Because gold represents the highest earthly reflection of divine light, it does not tarnish, it does not decay. It is eternal, just like the soul and just like the blessings of the Infinite One. In Kabbalah, gold corresponds to Tiferet, beauty and harmony, and to the Sephirah of Chesed, loving kindness and abundance. Gold vibrates at the frequency of prosperity, not just material wealth, though it certainly includes that, but prosperity of spirit, confidence, inner radiance, and the recognition of your own immense value. The Mishnah teaches us that beloved is humanity, for we were created in the divine image. Gold in your home is a constant visual reminder of that truth. You are not ordinary. You carry within you a spark of the divine, and you are worthy of abundance in every form. Here is something I share with my closest students. The kitchen is the financial heart of the home. In Jewish tradition, the table is compared to the altar in the temple. When you eat with intention, with blessings, with gratitude, you are performing a sacred act. To activate prosperity in your kitchen, place one intentional gold object there: a small gold bowl, a decorative gold tray, even a single gold spoon placed with kavanah. As you place it, say aloud, "As gold reflects light, my home reflects abundance. As gold endures, my blessings multiply and endure." You are tuning your space to a frequency of provision. You are not hoping for blessings. You are aligning yourself to receive what is already being sent. The fourth color is vibrant and alive and absolutely essential if you have been feeling stuck, numb, or like you have lost your fire: red. I know what you might be thinking. Red is aggressive. Red is too much. But let me teach you what the Kabbalists understood. Red, in its highest form, is the color of Gevurah, strength and boundaries. And it is the color of life itself. The Hebrew word for red is Adom, which shares the same root as Adam, humanity, and Adamah, the earth. We are literally formed from red earth. Blood, the very essence of physical life, is red. Red is not aggression. Red is life force. It is passion, courage, and the holy fire that drives you to create, to love, and to fight for what matters. If your relationship has lost its spark, if you and your partner feel more like roommates managing logistics than lovers building a life together, red is your wake-up call. If your motivation has gone quiet, if you are procrastinating on your dreams and just going through the motions, red breaks you out of that fog. You do not need to paint your entire bedroom red. Subtlety and intention are everything. A piece of red artwork, a few red pillows, a single red vase, red Shabbat candles. These are enough to inject your space with a surge of momentum. I once worked with a couple who were on the verge of divorce. 15 years of marriage, and they told me they felt nothing anymore. We introduced one powerful piece of red abstract art into their bedroom, and a pair of red candles they lit every Friday night with a single intention: to remember the passion that brought them together. Within 2 months they renewed their vows. The red did not create something that was not there. It awakened what had gone dormant. That is the spiritual technology of color. The fifth color is gentler, but do not underestimate it: green. In Jewish thought, green is the color of Chaim, life, and of renewal. After the flood, Noah sent out a dove, and it returned carrying a green olive branch, the first sign that life was beginning again on earth. Green represents chidush, newness, healing, and unstoppable growth. It is the color of spring, of hope, of the earth regenerating itself no matter how harsh the winter was. The Kabbalists associate green with Netzach, eternity and victory, the energy that persists no matter what. This is why bringing living green plants into your home is not just about decor or air quality, though science confirms that plants filter toxins and increase oxygen. Energetically, a healthy green plant is a living, breathing symbol of growth and possibility. It is taking in carbon dioxide and producing life. That process happening in your space is a constant reminder to your subconscious mind that transformation is always possible. I had a client who had been trying to start a business for 3 years and kept hitting walls. Permits denied, funding falling through, partnerships dissolving. She felt cursed. We placed 3 healthy green plants in her home office, and I taught her to water them with intention, saying, "As this plant grows, my business grows. As this life thrives, my vision thrives." Within 6 weeks, she received an unexpected grant and her first major client. I stopped believing in coincidence a long time ago. I believe in alignment. The sixth color holds deep, ancient power and connects to protection, spiritual boundaries, and the mystical realm. Purple. In the time of the temple, the rarest and most expensive dye was argamon, woven alongside techelet in the fabrics of the Mishkan, the tabernacle. Purple was reserved for royalty, for the priesthood, for the sacred. Because purple sits at the intersection of red, the earthly life force, and blue, the heavenly divine connection, purple is the marriage of heaven and earth, the physical and the spiritual meeting in one color. In Kabbalah, purple resonates with Malkut, kingship, the sephira that represents the divine presence dwelling in our material world. When you bring purple into your home, you are creating a space where the spiritual and the material can meet, where your prayers and intentions can manifest into tangible reality. Purple enhances intuition and spiritual sensitivity. If you pray, if you meditate, if you seek to connect with something greater than yourself, purple in your sacred space amplifies that connection. I recommend placing purple elements in your prayer corner, near your bookshelf of sacred texts, or in your bedroom if you are working on deepening your spiritual practice. A client of mine named Rachel kept having disturbing dreams and felt spiritually unprotected in her home. We introduced a deep purple throw blanket on her bed and a purple candle she lit before sleep with the prayer, "Hashem, surround me with your royal protection as I rest." Her sleep transformed completely. She began receiving vivid, meaningful dreams that guided her through major life decisions. Purple opened a channel. The seventh color, and perhaps the most universally powerful in Jewish tradition, is one you have seen every Shabbat if you have ever lit candles or attended a Friday night service. Warm, glowing amber and yellow tones, the color of flame, of candlelight, of the sun. In Hebrew, the word for light is or, and light is the very first thing God created. In the beginning, God said, "Let there be light," not the sun, which was not created until the fourth day, but a primordial spiritual light that the Kabbalists teach still exists in hidden form, accessible through mitzvot, through sacred actions, through Shabbat, and through the intentional use of warm, luminous color in our homes. Yellow and amber represent simcha, joy, clarity, optimism, and mental energy. They stimulate the mind, enhance focus, and create a feeling of warmth and welcome. In your home, warm yellows and ambers are perfect for spaces where you gather, where you welcome guests, where you study or do creative work. These colors say, "You are welcome here, you are safe here, there is joy here." I have worked with families who felt isolated, whose homes felt cold and unwelcoming even to themselves. We introduced warm, golden yellow tones into their entryway and living spaces, and within months, their home had become a gathering place. Friends started stopping by. Shabbat dinners grew. Their children invited classmates over. The home came alive. Here is a practical piece of wisdom rooted in Jewish tradition. Never let your home fall into complete darkness at night. Keep a small, warm light burning, whether that is a night light, a lamp with a soft amber bulb, or an electric Shabbat candle. A home should always carry, or light, as a sign that the divine presence is welcome there. Light is protection. Light is clarity. Light is the first and most fundamental blessing. Now, if you are still with me, take a moment and type in the comments, "I choose light and blessings for my home." That declaration is not passive. You are actively participating in a shift, and that participation is what makes the teaching come alive in your life. So we have explored 7 sacred colors. White for purity and infinite possibility, blue for wisdom and calm, gold for prosperity and divine value, red for passion and life force, green for growth and healing, purple for spiritual connection and protection, and warm yellow and amber for joy and community. Each of these is a spiritual tool that, when used with intention, transforms your home from just a place you live into a mikdash me'at, a small sanctuary, a dwelling place for the divine presence and for every blessing trying to reach you. But here is what I need you to understand, and this is the most critical part of this teaching. There is one color that works in direct opposition to everything I have just shared with you. Where white opens infinite potential, this color creates restriction and closure. Where gold attracts prosperity, this color subtly repels it. Where red ignites passion, this color slowly extinguishes your fire. Where blue brings wisdom and peace, this color invites confusion and low-level anxiety. Where green promotes growth, this color fosters stagnation. Where purple connects you to the spiritual, this color cuts that channel. And where warm amber brings joy and community, this color isolates you and drains the light from your life. This color has been marketed to you as sophisticated, as modern, as timeless. You have been told it is neutral and calming. But energetically, it is the opposite. It is a silent thief, stealing your joy, your momentum, and your blessing so gradually you do not even notice until you are stuck, struggling, and wondering why nothing seems to work. The color ancient Kabbalah warns against, the color you must be incredibly cautious with in your home, is dark gray. Before you panic, stay with me because I am going to give you the solution. But first you need to understand why. In Kabbalistic thought, colors exist on a spectrum from light to shadow. Pure light is the divine. Pure shadow, the complete absence of light, represents the Sitra Achra, the realm of spiritual disconnection. Dark grey sits in a very specific and problematic place on that spectrum. It is not black, which is absolute, and can sometimes represent depth or the fertile void before creation. Dark grey is something more insidious. It is the color of half-life, of dimness, of fog, of being neither here nor there. It is the color of uncertainty, confusion, and spiritual ambiguity. In Jewish mourning tradition, the color associated with grief is not black, as in many Western cultures, but a muted ashen gray. It is the color of ashes, of destruction, of the temple in ruins, of Kriya, the torn garment. Gray represents loss, sadness, and the absence of joy. Occasional grief is sacred and necessary, but you do not want to live in that energy. You do not want your home, the place where you rest, raise your family, and recharge your soul, vibrating at the frequency of mourning. Yet that is exactly what dark grey does over time. It mutes your spirit. It discourages creative thinking. It leads gradually to feelings of melancholy and a low-grade heaviness. You might not even connect to your environment because it happens so slowly. Modern interior design loves dark grey. Magazines call it chic. Designers call it timeless. But working with hundreds of families over many years, I have observed something consistent. The homes dominated by dark grey are the homes where people report the most financial struggle, the most emotional coldness, the most feelings of being stuck and unable to move forward. Your environment is not separate from you. You are in constant energetic exchange with it. When your walls and your furniture and your floors are broadcasting the frequency of shadow and fog, that is the signal your subconscious mind receives all day, every day. And that is the signal you begin to broadcast out into the world. Think about it this way. Would you expect the temple in Jerusalem, the place where heaven and earth met, to be painted in dark, muted greys? Absolutely not. It was gold, white, blue, purple, vibrant, and alive with color and light. The Talmud teaches that after the destruction of the temple, our tables became our altars. Our homes became our small temples. If you are filling your temple with the color of ashes and mourning, you are telling the universe that you are in a state of lack and loss, and the universe reflects back exactly what you put out. Science is also catching up to this wisdom. Studies on color psychology consistently show that people in environments dominated by dark gray report lower mood, decreased motivation, and a persistent sense of heaviness. Our brains respond to color, even when we are not consciously aware of it, affecting everything from hormone production to decision-making. Dark gray, because it lacks vibrancy and clarity, literally dulls your mental sharpness and emotional resilience. You are trying to build a life, create success, attract love, and manifest your dreams. But you are doing all of it while swimming against a current of heaviness you cannot see. Now here is the antidote. If you have dark gray in your home and cannot change it immediately, you counteract the energy by introducing bursts of the sacred colors we discussed. Place vibrant, colorful artwork on those gray walls. Not gray art, bright, alive, joyful art. Bring in pillows and throws in gold, red, blue, and green. Fill the space with as many living green plants as you can care for. Their life force will actively push back against the stagnant gray energy. Add warm amber lamps and make sure every gray room is well lit. Never let a gray room sit in dim light. That only amplifies the problem. Light neutralizes shadow. And here is the most powerful ritual. Stand in the center of your gray space and speak this aloud with full intention. I acknowledge this color does not serve my highest good. I now call in the light, the color, and the blessings of the divine. I transform this space from shadow to radiance, from stagnation to flow, from lack to abundance. This home is alive. This home is blessed. So be it. Then take one action within 72 hours. Buy one colorful piece of art. Bring in one healthy green plant. Light a candle every evening for a week. Action breaks the pattern. Intention plus action equals transformation. And if you are planning to repaint or redecorate, now you know. Choose life. Choose light. Choose colors that celebrate your existence, that honor the divine spark within you, that align your home with the flow of heavenly blessing. Soft creams, warm taupes, gentle greens, serene blues. All of these are calm and elegant, but vibrant enough to support life. Dark gray may look sleek in a corporate lobby, a place designed for transaction and detachment. But your home is not a lobby. Your home is your sanctuary, your mikdash me'at, your small temple. Treat it that way. I want to close with this truth. Everything in creation carries energy. The ancient Kabbalists were not superstitious. They were scientists of the soul, who understood that every element of our physical world, including color, is a vehicle for spiritual reality. When you choose the colors of your home with consciousness, with kavana, with the understanding that you are not just decorating but creating an energetic field, you step into your role as a co-creator with the divine. You are no longer a victim of circumstance or bad luck. You are an active participant in your own blessing. So right now, type in the comments, "My home is a living sanctuary of blessings." Say it out loud and mean it. Then look around your space. What one change can you make today? Maybe it is buying a plant. Maybe it is hanging a piece of colorful art. Maybe it is lighting a candle with intention every evening. Maybe it is finally saying goodbye to that dark gray couch you never really loved anyway. Whatever it is, take the action. Because knowledge without action is just information. But knowledge plus action is transformation. If this teaching resonated with you, please hit the like button. It tells me you are receiving this, and it helps this wisdom reach more people who need it. Subscribe to this channel so you never miss a teaching. I release new secrets from Jewish mystical tradition every single week. Ancient wisdom for prosperity, protection, relationships, and health, all rooted in Torah and Kabbalah, and made practical for your modern life. Share this video with someone whose home feels heavy, whose life feels stuck, who has been searching for a breakthrough and does not realize their environment might be the key. Next week, I am revealing the one object that 93% of Jewish homes have in the wrong location, and it is costing them blessings every single day. You are going to want to see that. Until then, may your home be filled with light, with color, with joy, and with every blessing the Creator has destined for you. Shalom, and see you soon.